If they don't reinstate this in the Second Amendment and freedom and the right to contract, and if they give in to illegal, unlawful racketeering by the feds, that you're not going to buy food there. Let them know. We'll be right back.
Americans have heard much about change in recent times and are now waking up to the truth. Well, here's a few facts about your food you may want to change. Did you know that nearly 100% of the food on store shelves comes from a few corporations and that most is genetically engineered, chemically sprayed, and transported great distances? Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company, like you, wants to see Americans change and take control of their own food supply, one seed at a time. Over 12 years, we've become America's premier supplier of pure, non-GMO seeds with over 1,400 varieties. Gardeners and homesteaders know Baker Creek offers some of the most popular seed collection kits, like our large heirloom kit with 60 full-size seed packets for only $99. The kit contains 25 types of vegetables and comes packaged in a metal can for long-term storage for just $99. Look for our free catalog today at rareseeds.com. That's rareseeds.com or call 1-866-OLD-SEED. That's 1-866-653-7333 today.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, it seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at prisonplanet.tv.
Are you wondering about your retirement portfolio? Are you confident that the financial advisor is experienced enough to combat climbing interest rates, taxes, and inflation? Stop guessing and go to the expert, Robert Chapman of the International Forecaster. When you subscribe to the International Forecaster, you get Robert Chapman's 45 years of experience and concise investment recommendations. Who needs sugar-coated excuses when you can get the cold hard facts and proven investment leads you can't get anywhere else? For a free introductory copy to Robert Chapman's International Forecaster, subscribe now at theinternation.forecaster.com or call 877-479-8178. Experience the difference. When you subscribe, you can email Robert Chapman directly to obtain investment advice tailored just for you. Don't wait another minute. Subscribe today at theinterntionalforecaster.com or call 877-479-8178. That's 877-479-8178.
When you hear the words water purification, what comes to mind? If it's Berkey Water Purification Systems, this message is for you. Did you know that over 60% of municipal water contains fluoride at less than 2 cents per gallon? Berkey water filters purify treated and untreated water, remove dangerous chlorine, fluoride, and contaminants from municipal water. These filters are powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water, making them perfect for rainwater collection systems. From the smallest to the largest systems, BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has what you need. With your system purchase, you'll receive a shower filter, a fluoride filter, or 2 sport Berkey bottles absolutely free. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com would like to offer GCN listeners 5% off all ceramic filter systems and ship all orders over $50 free of charge. Visit BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. Or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY today.
Folks, this is thugism. This is illegal. This is fraud. And it's time to let the government, the BATFE, the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms people, know they're not our kings. And, of course, they're trying to make the gun show they destroyed and shut down illegally the bad guy when they're the victim. Now, the good news here is, Darwin Boedecker, is that you got called from the local ABC News affiliate, and who knows what their newscast will be. But what did they tell you when you talked to them?
The lady's name was Noelle Newton. She was real nice, and she basically just wanted to hear my side of the story because, of course, they've heard a bunch of rumors, and I told her that, tell her the facts, and I basically went through and recapped exactly what happened.
Now, in my experience, they don't know the law. Did you explain to her that there's no law here and they just did this?
Exactly. I told her what they had me do was unlawful. But it was only under the pressure of me losing the show completely the day before we were supposed to start.
Yeah, they threatened you with massive financial harm and harm to your reputation if you didn't. That's extortion.
Exactly. And
that's terrorism. That's an act of financial terrorism. What did she say?
She said, well, basically, after the whole interview, she, appreciated me having the interview with her, and she says, well, it sounds like you didn't willingly go along with this. And I said, absolutely not. It was only after the pressure of, the demise of my business is why I did it.
And now the police can't say they're wrong under federal orders, and so they're just going to keep saying you're bad and probably stonewall and, watch out when you're in this town. But I know a lot of officers are upset by this, but the people running this, I want to hear Arte Saveda say this was wrong and come out against this. And we don't know if he's behind this yet, but I'm trying to find out right now. But his department is guaranteed involved in something wrong. And if he tries to spin this, I don't know how he's going to do it. But there's no doubt in my mind, though, the BATF recommended the notice, ordered it, was running it, was in control, and that this is the Obama administration doing this.
Alex, do you mind if I give you a scenario on what the ATF agent himself told me I could do real quick? Because it's
sure.
Not only is it disturbing, but I don't think it's lawful either. I gave him the notice. I gave him a scenario. Say my grandfather leaves me a Colt pistol in his will, and I have a prior domestic charge against me, so I can't own that gun. So I take it to the gun show and I try to sell it to do the right thing, to do the legal thing. And now, by trying to follow their recommendations, say I have to take that gun and I have to take it to a dealer and have them put it in his books and do a background search on a person that wants to buy it at the show. Now, say that person doesn't pass the background check, and I want my gun back, the one my grandfather left me in a will. Now, by law, I have to do paperwork on the gun that was left to me in my will to get my own gun back. And I told him, now, what would happen since I had the previous charge against me? I'm not going to pass the background check. Then what happens to the gun? And the ATF officer himself looked straight at me and said, Darwin, well, one way around that is you could have the dealer do the background check on the person that wants to buy it before he logs it into his books. And I'm like, well, and I was totally stunned. I'm like, so basically what you want me to do is basically break a law just to appease your recommendation. And he goes, well, I'm not telling you need to do that, but that would be one way to get around that scenario.
Well, let me expand on this. That was the Sheriff Mack case and others. They regularly, when a woman files for divorce, or even a man now, they get a restraining order, and then they say you can't own a gun when there's a restraining order. They say yelling at your wife or husband now is violence. That's a misdemeanor. That's unconstitutional. The 68 Gun Control Act is for felonies. So that's more bull where the agencies just declared powers that weren't there. Do you understand that?
Exactly. I mean, when he told me that was a scenario to try to follow his recommendations, I basically just had to turn around and I said thank you, and I walked off.
When does KVUE say this is going to air? Tonight? They say they're going to go try to talk to the detectives.
Well, they said they were going to interview with the police department shortly. She didn't tell me when it was going to air or not. So I don't know what time it's going to air, but she said that they were on their way down there.
And did you explain to her that it was a fake arrest? It was a staged deal?
Absolutely. That's what I told her in the interview. I go, it wasn't even a real arrest because they let the gentleman go 45 minutes later.
Well, they got mad by you not letting them abuse you in secret and putting out the petition for the state attorney general. But see, now that they've just shut down the gun show, there's not the problem next month of them trying to force it again and the state coming in and blocking them. They can just shut down the gun show, kill our Second Amendment right to firearms and private sales, and then sit behind closed doors like Chicago Mafia and just rub their hands together.
I actually had an email from a VFW right out of Austin saying we could use their building, but it was just too small. But I appreciate people actually standing up and saying, you can use our facility to do this.
Well, the gun show's been there for close to 20 years that I know of. I've been going there for 16, 17. I don't know, since